Hi everyone, today we will study about the crop minor millets. Here we will discuss about the cultivation practices of minor millets. Before we go into details, first let's go through few introduction of minor millets. Millets are widely grown for food as well as for fodder purpose. They possess relatively small seeds compared to major cereals such as wheat, rice and maize. Millets requires few inputs and withstand severe biotic and abiotic stresses. They are also more nutritious than major cereals. The most widely grown is pearl millet, Pennisetum glaucum, while a secondary group of millets includes finger millets, that is mandua or ragi, with scientific name Eleusine coracana. The next one is foxtail millet, also known as kakni or kakun, with scientific name Citaria italica. Next one is proso millet, also known as bari or china, with scientific name Panicum miliaceum. Kodo millet, also known as kodra or varagu, with scientific name Paspalum scrobiculatum. Fifth one is little millet, also known as katki or samai, with scientific name Panicum sumatrans. The last one is barnyard millet, also known as zangora or sawan, with scientific name Echinoclea species. This secondary group is generally known as minor millets. Minor or small millets are genetically diverse and adapted to a range of marginal growing conditions where major cereals such as wheat, rice, and maize are relatively unsuccessful. Minor millets remains our agricultural answer to the climate crisis that the world is facing, and millets can only be called as miracle grains. Now let's know together about the origin of the crop. There are different opinions about the origin of minor millets. Most accepted place of origin is as follows. For finger millet, East Africa is considered as the origin. Foxtail millet, China or Central Asia. For proso millet, India is considered as the origin. Kodo millet, Southeast Asia. Little millet, India. Barnyard millet, China or Central Asia. Next, we will discuss about the geographic distribution. The global distribution of minor millets is as given below. Finger millets are grown abundantly in Africa, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, China, and Japan. Foxtail millets are cultivated in countries like India, China, Eastern Europe, and Southern USSR, and to some extent in Africa and America. Proso millets are grown in India, China, Japan, Egypt, Arabia, and Western Europe. Kodo millets are found abundantly in countries like India and West Africa. Little millets are grown in India, China, Malaysia, and East Asia. Barnyard millets are grown extensively in countries like India, China, Japan, Malaysia, and East Indies. Minor millets are grown in most of the states of India, but major minor millets growing states are as given below. In the states of Karnataka, finger, foxtail, and little millets are grown extensively. And in the state of Madhya Pradesh, finger millets, kodo millets, and little millets. And in the states of Uttarakhand, finger and barnyard millet are cultivated extensively. And in the states of Tamil Nadu, finger, proso, little, and barnyard millet are grown. And in the states of Andhra Pradesh, finger and foxtail millets are grown extensively. And in the state of Maharashtra, finger, foxtail, and little millets are grown successfully. And in the states of Chhattisgarh, finger, foxtail, and little millets are grown. Next is about the economic importance of the crop. Minor millets are highly nutritious, non-glutinous and not acid-forming foods. They are considered to be the least allergic and most digestible grain available. Compared to polished paddy, millets release lesser percentage of glucose, and over a long period of time, this lowers the risk of diabetes. Finger millets, which is the most economically significant among all of these at present, is richest in calcium content about 10 times that of paddy or wheat. The nutritional content in 100 grams of dry grain of minor millets is as follows. The figures are compiled from a study published by the National Institute of Nutrition, that is NIN, Hyderabad. The protein content ranges from 6.2 in case of barnyard millet to 12.5 gram in case of proso millets. And carbohydrate content ranges from 60.2 in case of foxtail millets to 72 grams in case of finger millets. And fat content ranges from 1.1 in case of proso millet to 4.8 gram in case of barnyard millets. Mineral content ranges from 1.7 gram in case of little millet to 4 gram in case of foxtail millets. Fiber content ranges from 3.6 in case of finger millets to 13.6 gram in case of barnyard millet. Calcium content ranges from 8 milligrams in case of proso millets to 344 milligrams in case of finger millets. And phosphorus content ranges from 188 in case of kodo millets to 290 milligram in case of foxtail millets. Iron content ranges from 1.7 milligrams in case of kodo millets to 18.6 milligram in case of barnyard millets. Next, we will have a discussion on botanical description of various minor millets. Minor millets are herbaceous annuals of Poaceae family. Proso, kodo, and little millets are shorter, whereas finger, foxtail, and barnyard millets are longer. Finger, proso, and little millets tiller more profusely than foxtail, kodo, and barnyard millets. Little millet is similar in habit with proso millet, except that it is smaller. Kodo millet is quite distinct from other millets due to purple pigmentation in leaves, and it has got a characteristic ballet look. Next is about the climatic requirement of the crops. Minor millets are extraordinarily drought tolerant and other abiotic stresses such as high temperature and poor soils. These crops are of tropical and subtropical climate and can also be grown in cooler elevated region up to 2,300 meters above mean sea level. These crops are grown in areas having annual average rainfall between 400 to 1000 mm. This makes them climate smart and a good source of genetic traits that can strengthen the resilience of other crops to face the climatic change. Next, we will discuss about the topic which focuses on soil requirement. Minor millets can be grown on a wide variety of soil ranging from very poor to very fertile soils. It thrives best on a well-drained loam or clay loam soils. It tolerates salinity better than other cereals. Minor millets can be grown on a low fertile soil, some in acidic soil and some in saline soils. In fact, finger millet grows well in saline soil. Barnyard millet too thrives in problem soils, where Other crops like rice struggle to grow in such soils. Many of them are also grown to reclaim soil. Next, we will discuss about the popular varieties of different minor millets. Some of the important drought-tolerant, drought-avoiding, high-yielding varieties of hybrid minor millets in India are given below. Finger millet varieties are VL Mandua 315, 324, GPU 28, 48, 66, 67, KMR 301. Foxtail millets varieties are SIA 326, TNAU 186, Krishna Devaraya, Narsimharaya, Prasad, Sri Lakshmi. Proso millet varieties are GPUP8, GPUP21, K1, K2, CO2, CO3, CO4, PRC1. Popular kodo millet varieties are JK41, JK76, GPUK3, JK155, K1, CO2, CO3, APK1, and Vamban. Little millet varieties are JK1, TNAU 63, OLM 20, and Payur 1 and 2. Barnyard millet varieties are VLM 181, VLM 172, VL Mandira 207, PRJ 1. These are the popular varieties of various minor millets. Next, we will study about the lane preparation of minor millets. Minor millets do not require much field preparation. Before the onset of monsoon, the field should be plowed at least once with moldboard plow to get good till and enable it to retain moisture. With the onset of monsoon, the field should be harrowed or plowed with a local plow or with blade harrow at least twice. Plunking should be done for making the field smooth and well level. Next is about the optimum sowing time. Sowing usually starts from mid-May to mid-June in hilly areas. And in case of plains, sowing is done in the month of June to July. The crop may also be raised as Rabi season crop in the month of October to November, which is generally done in states like Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. Minor millet can also be grown as summer season crop in the month of January and February, which is usually done in states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. Next, we will see about the seed treatment. It is desirable that the seed be treated with carbendazim or thiram at the rate of 2 to 3 gram per kg of seeds. Now we will discuss about the sowing methods and transplanting of seedlings. Minor millets can be sown by broadcasting or by drilling seed in furrows. Line sowing ensures better germination, cut down seed requirements, and facilitate intercultural operation as compared to broadcast method of sowing. In areas with adequate moisture, finger millets can be raised with transplanting methods. 3 to 4 weeks old seedlings should be transplanted in the main field. In the absence of timely rains, transplanted field should be irrigated regularly till the seedlings are well established. Next, we will see about the seed rate, spacing, and sowing depth. About 8 to 10 kg of seed per hectare would be required for sowing, and about 4 kg of seed is sufficient for raising nursery in case of transplanting 1 hectare of land. In case of transplanting methods, transplanting 2 seedlings per hill at a distance of 25 by 8 cm or 20 by 10 cm with a depth of 2 to 3 cm deep are ideal. For line sowing, keeping row to row distance of 20 to 25 cm and plant to plant distance of 8 to 10 cm at a depth of 3 to 4 cm deep is considered ideal. Next, we will discuss about manures and fertilizer application. Millet production is not dependent on the use of synthetic fertilizers. Therefore, most millet farmers grow them using farmyard manure under purely eco-friendly conditions. Applying about 5 to 10 tons of farmyard manure or compost per hectare 1 month before sowing is desirable. But for high-yielding varieties or hybrid varieties, inorganic fertilizer are to be supplemented. General recommendation is 40 to 60 kg nitrogen, 20 to 40 kg P2O5 and 20 to 30 kg K2O per hectare for rain-fed areas and 50 to 100 kg nitrogen, 20 to 50 kg P2O5 and 20 to 50 kg K2O per hectare for irrigated areas. Half dose of nitrogen and full dose of phosphorus and potassium should be applied approximately 5 to 10 cm deep in the soil at the time of sowing. The remaining nitrogen is top dressed in 2 split doses after 30 and 50 days of sowing. Next is about the water management of the crop. Millets are basically a hardy rain-fed crop. During Kharif seasons, millets do not require irrigation. However, if rain stops for a long spell at tillering and flowering stage, then irrigation would be required to obtain good yield. Millet do not tolerate water logging, so proper arrangement for draining of excess water must be done. When it is being grown during summer, irrigation should be given once prior to land preparation. Next, we will study about weed management. The field should be kept weed-free up to 25 to 30 days after sowing. 2 weeding are sufficient to control the weeds. Weeding may be done with hand hoe or wheel hoe in line sown crop. Now we will discuss about the major insect pests and its management. Most millets, such as foxtail millet, is totally pest-free and hence generally do not need any pesticides. However, stem borer, termite, and shoot fly may attack millets. Now we will see how to control stem borer. 10% forate, that is timid granules, at the rate of 15 kg per hectare or 3% carbofuran, that is furadon granules, at the rate of 30 kg per hectare should be mixed with seed before sowing or be mixed with sand and applied in the leaf whorls. Control of termites. 2% methyl paration dust at the rate of 25 kg per hectare should be mixed with seed before sowing. Next is about how to control shoot fly. 10% forate granules, that is timid granules, at the rate of 15 to 20 kg per hectare or 3% carbofuran, that is furadon granules, at the rate of 25 to 30 kg per hectare should be mixed in soil before sowing. Spraying in the crop with 0.15% endosulfan 35 EC at an interval of 15 days effectively controls shoot fly. Next is about the major diseases and its management. Fortunately, millets are not affected by many diseases. The main reasons for this are relatively short duration of the crop, cultivation in dry regions, and its genetical compositions. Economically important diseases are downy mildew, ergot disease, smut, rust, blast, and blight. The three major disease control strategies are available for farmers. The first one is use of disease-resistant cultivars. Next strategy is use of cultural practices like sanitation, deep plowing soon after harvest, early sowing, transplanting, rogging, etc. Next strategy is use of chemicals. Seed treatment with 2 gram of metolazil or 2.5 gram of therum or 2.5 gram of seracin or with a mixture of 2 gram of emission and 4 gram of therum per kg of seeds. Next is for controlling downy mildew, ergot, rust, blast, and blight. Spraying the crop with a mixture of 500 gram of metolazil or 2 kg of mancozeb or 1.5 kg of zerum or 1.5 kg of ginef in 1000 liter of water per hectare at boot leaf stage, followed by 1 or 2 spray at 10 days intervals. Next is for controlling smut. Spraying the crop with a mixture of 1.5 kg Vitabix in 1000 liter of water per hectare at boot leaf stage, followed by 1 or 2 sprays at 10 days interval. Next is about the harvesting practices. The maturing periods of minor millets are relatively very short, ranging from about 65 to 135 days. Proso millets mature in about 65 to 75 days, whereas finger millet matures in about 100 to 135 days depending on the traits and varieties. The earheads are harvested with ordinary sickles and straw is cut close to the ground. At some places, the whole plant with earhead is cut. On drying the crop for about 1 week, threshing is done with hand or by trampling under the feet of bullocks. Next, we will see about the yield potential. With improved packaging practices, it is possible to obtain grain to the range of 12 to 25 quintals and straw to the range of 20 to 80 quintals per hectare. Barnyard millet is the lowest in yield giving, that is 12 to 25 quintals of grain and 20 to 80 quintals of straw per hectare. Whereas finger millet is the highest in yield giving, that is 20 to 25 quintals of grains and 60 to 80 quintals of straw per hectare. For proper storage, moisture in grain should not be more than 10 to 12%. Now we can come to the conclusion that minor millets have multiple uses as food, fodder, and biofuel, etc. They can be grown even in poor soil and harsh climatic conditions and can be very well fitted in multiple cropping systems. Their long storability under ordinary conditions has made them famine reserves. In spite of all these extraordinary qualities and capacities of millet farming systems, the area under millet production has been shrinking over the last 5 decades. Therefore, there is an urgent need to focus on millet farming systems and to make farmers aware of the improved varieties of cultivation technologies of millet. This much is about the cultivation practices of minor millets. Thank you.